Hi, my name is Autif Kamal. This is another workshop on logic and reasoning. This one is on conditional assumptions. If you have any questions or comments, you can relay them to me via Skype. My username is autif.kamal, or you can relay them to me by email. My email address is projectoptimization@gmail.com. Now, the reason why I'm going over conditional assumptions, because with categorical assumptions or categorical propositions, generally how they work is the predicate will categorize the subject, and by categorizing the subject, it's saying to some positive or negative degree that this group, this category that is a subject, has this quality by applying this or that predicate to it. With a conditional assumption, it focuses on cause and effect. And I'll give you an example just to refresh your memory. If you haven't watched the workshops on conditional syllogisms or conditional propositions, or if you just can't remember. Okay, so this is a quote that I got from an article. I got it from the Associated Press via Yahoo. The name of the article is AP Exclusive, IRS New Tea Party Targeted in 2011. And the name of the person who wrote this article is Stephen Olmecker. And just a heads up, I edited this quote a little bit, and I'll let you know exactly where I edited it. In all, about 300 groups were singled out for additional review, Lerner said. Of those, about a quarter of those groups, that's a part that I added, were singled out because they had Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in their applications. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on really the second sentence. I included the first sentence just to give you context. So the categorical assumption we get, all groups that had Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in the applications were singled out. So that quarter of groups that were singled out, all of them are Tea Partiers or had Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in the application. So they have the quality of being singled out. Those groups that had Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in the application. Now the conditional assumption would be if a group had Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in the applications, then they were singled out. Okay, so the cause would be a group having Tea Party or Patriot somewhere in the applications, and then the result of that is them being singled out for additional review. Okay. Now here's an example for you to do on your own. I'm also getting this from an article. I'm getting this from Bloomberg Business Week. The name of the article is Swiss Bank Whistleblower Hervé Falciani Gets a Reprieve. It was written by Carol Matlack. And the original argument here is U.S. authorities encouraged Falciani to flee to Spain because his life was in danger. Okay, if you'd like more time, you could pause the video, otherwise I'll move on to the answers. And just to clarify, what I need you to do here is you need to first do what you think would be the categorical assumption. Then after you do that, you need to formulate the conditional assumption. Okay, now I'll give you a few moments to work on that, and you can pause the video if you need more time. Okay, and I will move on to the answers right now. Okay, so the categorical assumption you get is U.S. authorities encourage all people in danger to flee to a different country. Now you notice I didn't say Spain, and I'm going to clarify why I didn't do that in a little bit. The conditional assumption you get is if a person is in danger, U.S. authorities will encourage them to flee to a different country. So a person being in danger is the cause of U.S. authorities encouraging someone to flee to a different country. Now, for this particular example, I need to give you more context to where I'm getting this example from, so that you can be more capable of judging whether these assumptions are questionable or not. Now, Hervé Falciani, he was a former employee of HSBC Bank, and he handed over information regarding tax evaders to Spanish, British, Italian, and French authorities. And the tax evasion summed up to be like $260 billion. And as a result of him giving out that information to those authorities regarding the 130,000 tax evaders, the Switzerland government tried to extradite him. Okay, now that you have that context, again we're going to look at the assumptions. U.S. authorities encourage all people in danger to flee to a different country. Now, given the information that we know now, I would revise that. I would revise it in terms of the types of people that U.S. encourages to flee to a different country. The types of people I think they would encourage would be, or more likely to encourage, would be those types of people who have hundreds of thousands of names of people who try to evade taxes, and as a result would be extradited. Now, that is a more that's a much more lengthy qualification, but I think adding that qualification would be more likely to lead to a true assumption. Okay. And yeah, if you put the same qualification, the conditional assumption, I think it would still be more likely to be true. Okay, now if you'd like more practice, you can go to a website containing free ebooks or articles. The websites I generally tell you to go to for free ebooks is books.google.com, and for articles I like to go to Yahoo or Businessweek, or you could try Alternet, ALTERNET. It's either .com or .org, and then regardless of where you go, whether it's an article or an ebook, you're going to search for because, and then you're either going to copy word for word or use what you find to formulate your own standard cause and effect sentence. When I say standard, I just mean that it has the causal indicator because. Then based on the standard cause and effect sentence that you formulate, you will then formulate a categorical assumption, and based off of that, you will finally formulate a conditional assumption. Okay, and that is what you can do if you'd like more practice. Now next up, I'm going to go over identifying cause and effect within most likely multiple sentences without causal indicators. And the way I put it is because we don't always say because. Another way of saying it is we don't always have causal indicators tell us which one is the cause and which one isn't. Sometimes we need to make a judgment based on having no causal indicators, which one is the cause, which one's the effect. We have to think about what is the event or the action that is initiating, and then within the context that we have, what is the product, the result, the effect of the event or the action that was initiated. Okay, and I will talk about that in greater detail in the next video. Alright, thank you.